My name is Christiana Lee, and I am a wrestler. All right, wrestling is something that I think a lot of people misunderstand when it comes to the Bible and when it comes to wrestling with God. I mean, we see Jacob wrestling with God. We see all those people that wrestled with God, Jonah and Job. And when I say I'm a wrestler, I mean that I'm someone who's willing to argue with God. I'm someone who's willing to step into the ring and be honest. I've never been the type to really just accept things without question. I wish that I could. I wish that I could be more kind of just type B personality, but I'm not. And so I've just found that every time that I've stepped in the ring and told God how I really feel about something, that good stuff has happened because of it. When I went through a time where I experienced really intense grief and pain because of something really significant that happened in my life. Long story short, I had a boyfriend who ended up in essentially like a coma, but he was awake, so he had suffered severe brain damage. For such a long time, I not only thought it was my fault, but I also thought it was God's fault. I didn't understand what God was doing. And in that point in my life, I remember a lot of people coming up to me and saying, God has a purpose for this. You just need to trust in God. It's all going to be okay. And they'd never said, you are wrong for being angry. They never said those words. But the feeling that I got from the Christian community, to be honest, was kind of like, hey, Christiana, God's got this in control, so you're kind of wrong to be angry. So like, God's right, God's perfect, God is good, so who are you to question it? And just to be perfectly honest, that was garbage, because the reality was, I was angry, and I felt like if I didn't admit that I was angry, then I was lying, right? So for me, all those people, while they were well-intentioned, just didn't really seem to have the right words for me. So I actually read a book, and it was a really great book, and it went through all the different wrestlers in the Bible, all the different people that stepped into the ring and said, God, I don't like what's going on here. I'm angry about it. This doesn't feel right. So they number one started by admitting that they didn't like it. They were angry. And what I noticed about each of the wrestlers in the Bible is that once they admitted, God, I'm angry, I don't get this, God responded, which I think is significant, and that's one thing that's really special about our God, is that he does respond. He steps into the ring too, you know? And so what I found from all of those different people is that God blessed those people, even though they recognized in the end, yeah, God, you are bigger than me, and you are in control, you are perfect. They all recognize those things in the end, but God then blessed them for that. And so for me, I was in this place where I was like, I'm angry, I'm frustrated, I'm full of grief. What do I do with that? So I decided I was just going to tell God, I'm angry, I'm kind of mad at you, I don't like you right now, God, I don't understand what you're doing. And through that experience, it took a good solid 3 years, but through that experience, I ended up growing so much more close to God. I learned new things about him. I think because of it, I have a more intimate relationship with him, a relationship where I can feel like I'm being honest with him about anything. And so I think that has really defined my relationship with God in a lot of ways, because I've learned how to be honest, and yet, because I feel like the more honest that you are, the more you have an opportunity to grow, the more that you have an opportunity to grow closer to God. So that's kind of my thing, but I would say too, outside of my moment of grief, I'm also the type, when it comes to like seeing injustice in the world, it makes me sad and it makes me sick, right? Like this summer was an intense summer in America, and my heart hurt. It hurts now, you know, for just everything that's going on in America and in our world. My heart hurts. And so now that I feel like I've kind of learned my lesson, I've now taken that to God and said, God, I don't like this, I don't get it, I don't understand it. And now I'm finding that He's revealing to me new things about Him. He's revealing to me a new kind of peace that I didn't have or I didn't understand before. He's revealing to me this type of joy that only He can give. And so I just have found that being a wrestler, stepping in the ring, being honest, it's really taken my relationship with Him to new levels. My name is Christiana Lee, and I am God created.